Hi, I'm Donald McIntyre, founder of Etherplan. I'm a volunteer on Ethereum Classic. In this video, I'm going to talk why NFT projects and markets are so important for Ethereum Classic. So there are four NFT projects right now. One is called ETC Punks. The other one is Classic Savages, then Classic Pharaohs, and ETC Bay Apes. I bought Punks, Pharaohs, and Savages, and it was a great experience. There's several reasons why NFTs are important. There's also a market like OpenSea, but on Ethereum Classic, that is called NFT Creed, that is being developed. All these technologies are important for the following reasons. An NFT in itself, NFT means non-fungible token, and it's just a standardized smart contract inside ETC. So we have a technology that is this standardized contract that is inside ETC, which is a code that is non-fungible, that is different to an ERC token, ERC20 token, which basically issues tokens, and those are fungibles. Now you can buy units. For example, Shiba coin is an ERC20, and they issued trillions of dollars of SHIB, and they are fungible, and you can exchange them. And if you have one or the other, it's the same thing. An ERC 721, which is the NFT standard, basically creates a unique object that is not fungible, is not equal to any other unique object, and they're not digamos, fungible, and that's why they're non-fungible tokens. The thing is that that technology is the standard, digamos, underlying technology, and it can be used for several things. So it can be each NFT in ETC can be linked to an object, to a unique object that can be a digital object or a real object in the physical world. So for now, the most popular application has been to associate them to images, which are collectibles, that are inside IPFS, which is a file sharing blockchain. So you have the file, for example, a Classic Savage. It's a JPEG file in another blockchain called IPFS, and that has the metadata and is linked to an NFT contract, which is unique in the world and is going to be unique and immutable for the rest of history inside ETC. Both networks are decentralized, so the whole system is decentralized. That is the current application, but that's not NFTs, and that's it. NFTs are not only these collectibles. And these in particular are analogous to baseball cards. So in the real world, people can buy a baseball card, and that you keep it, and in the future may have more value if it's unique, or it's part of a reduced series or limited series, and people in the future want to buy that card. No, there's baseball cards that sell for millions of dollars, and the same thing. This is the same thing, but inside the digital world, where the collectible itself is unique, and it's in a specific blockchain, and it has a unique identification number there in that blockchain, and it's associated to a unique NFT contract inside ETC. Even though they're not fungible, they are transferable. So this means that if I sell in a market the NFT to somebody else, it can be transferred from my account in ETC to the account of the buyer in ETC, and now that new person is the owner of the object in the IPFS blockchain. So that's the first application. The thing is that NFTs can be associated not only to these collectibles inside IPFS, but they can be associated to a smart contract inside Ethereum Classic. So you have a smart contract, which is an agreement between a company and another company, or a company and a client, or it could be a future cash flow in the form of a stock or some contract, a bond, a credit contract, or something like that, and that can be associated to the NFT. And when the NFT is transferred to other people, that contract is transferred to other people. Those kinds of contracts are usually non-fungible, because there's no generic market of contracts, and you just buy and sell them of that kind of contract, because it could be specific commercial contract or business contracts that are unique in the world. No, so you can also associate an NFT, for example, to a car. For example, somebody can own a Tesla or any electric vehicle, and that electric vehicle has its own metadata and its own identification, and that metadata can be associated to an NFT inside Ethereum Classic. So if I own that NFT with my private key, then I can use my car. I go to the car, I put my phone, the car, I prove to the car that I own the private key to it, and it unlocks the door. I go in and I can drive it. So an NFT, a car, for example, can be an NFT. That car, of course, is unique because it's in a way it's a physical world, non-fungible object, and I can use it as long as I have the private key. We all sell cars every now and then because we want to buy a new one or something like that. The good thing is that with an NFT market, and this is why NFT Create is important, you could put your car for sale in the NFT Create market. Say I sell my electric vehicle for, let's say, $12,000 or $20,000 because it's used, because whatever, and it's unique, no? Because each car has its own history. So, and I put it there, no say, the equivalent is 200 ETC, for example, and somebody can come and say, okay, I like this car, and they send 200 ETC to the smart contract. The smart contract matches the buyer and the seller, and the ETC are transferred to me, and the NFT of the car is transferred to the buyer. And then from then on, that person with their private key of that account, they can go enter the car and use the car. So this is very important, because NFTs, again, can be connected to any object, either digital or physical, even real estate or containers that move, or ships of a shipping company that go around the world, or airplanes. I don't know. There's many things. An apartment in New York, a building in San Francisco can be an NFT, and the registry and the booking of the property of those objects is going to migrate from the traditional centralized government registries into the blockchain, and the transaction process can be on the blockchain, and it can be done in 15 seconds. So it's highly important, critical infrastructure for high value objects that are going to likely exist in Ethereum Classic, because Ethereum Classic is a code is law blockchain, immutable, and is going to be exactly the same across time. So in 100 years, that building is still going to be an NFT on the blockchain and be tradable, and the accounts and private keys and everything's going to work exactly the same way, because ETC is immutable and backward compatible, and also across space, because someone in the northern pole, the southern pole, or in Brazil or United States or in Europe can buy and sell these NFTs. So someone, say a billionaire in China could buy a building in San Francisco as an NFT, and now he's the new owner, even though he's in China. Why is this enabled? because Ethereum Classic is immutable and works exactly the same way across space everywhere in the world, and is trustworthy. So these are examples of NFT, of the underlying NFT technology, and this is why I am extremely supportive of the 4 original NFT projects inside Ethereum Classic, because they are proving to the world that all these processes and technologies can work perfectly well, just as they work in Ethereum. But Ethereum is going to be much less secure because it's going to move to proof of stake, which is practically like the banking system. And these transactions that I explained are going to be more cumbersome, more controlled, and prone to interference by corporations and governments. Whether if people do exactly these same transactions but in Ethereum Classic, it's going to be much more secure, especially for high value objects. The other thing is that NFTs can be associated to other smart contracts. So it could be associated to ERC20 tokens, or it can be associated to a loan smart contract. So if I own an apartment and I'm paying the mortgage, and the mortgage I'm paying it to a bank, but the product, instead of being a paper contract or a digital contract in a cloud service between me and the bank that is enforced by the courts, it can be a smart contract inside ETC. And as long as I go paying the mortgage, I own my apartment. So my apartment is associated to this NFT. So that's what proves that I am the owner and it's in my account. But at the same time, that smart contract of my mortgage is also associated to that NFT. And if for some reason I don't pay, and after many months of fighting with the bank, I still don't pay and I defaulted, when the bank can deactivate my access to the apartment after several processes on the blockchain. And it's easy to prove that I didn't pay, because everything is visible on the immutable blockchain of ETC. So in that case, an example could be that the NFT, after X months or years of not paying or defaulting, the NFT can go back to the property of the lender, and the lender can go through the foreclosure, the classic foreclosure process, and sell the same apartment as an NFT. So the same thing can be with cars, etc. So you can associate these smart contracts and create very complex relationships. This can be done for international trade. This can be done for interbank relationships, to create these combinations of NFT, ERC20, and regular smart contracts and cash flows between them. Or it can be or it can be for international organizations like the IMF, that create these complex structure value loans, for example, to emerging markets, which are worth billions of dollars. And ETC is the platform to do it, because Ethereum Classic is also an EVM blockchain, exactly like Ethereum, but it's proof of work, fixed monetary policy, mutable code is law, and fully replicated around the world, and absolutely permissionless. So this is why NFT technology is being tested on Ethereum Classic, and the markets that are coming are critical technologies, and the fact that we're using it, trading them, and we are basically proving to the world that this technology can be perfectly operated inside Ethereum Classic. For now, Ethereum Classic is processing 70,000 transactions per day, which is a lot, but it has capacity to 1.2 or 1.5 million transactions per day. So for now, until that capacity is not filled, transaction fees in Ethereum Classic are extremely low. I can move an NFT between me and my kids when I send it to them for, I think it's 1 cent of a dollar, 0.0001 ETC, which is extremely cheap. So everything is everything that is happening in that segment is excellent. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of people who just don't get it. What are NFTs? Why it's stupid? Why it's a JPEG? All those guys are the idiots. The intelligent ones are the ones testing and creating these projects, and us who are observing them and trading and using them, because we're proving to the world something much larger than just the collectibles. Although the collectibles themselves are also important. They're being traded and for for ETC, and they're very valuable. And it's just free people interacting and human action, and that's it. Excellent, because it's proving ETC's value. Um, for example, a classic Savage or an ETC Punk or a Bay Ape or a Pharaoh is basically going to be there, immutable for the rest of history, and whoever owns it owns that unique collectible. And we are making history, so I think that they're going to be very valuable in the future, just because we're making such history. I don't think I have anything else to say. Let me see if there's any questions. I am says, I know you're very invested in TC, but my question is, do you know any coins that are very cheap which will pair or work with ETC? I would love to know. When I am extremely focused on Ethereum Classic, so I have all my wealth in Ethereum Classic, because I have this vision for the blockchain, and I can see the value of the blockchain being a programmable base layer blockchain, which is unique in the world. Proof of work, fixed monetary policy, smart contracts, fully replicated, etc. And what I just explained are one of the many things that are going to happen in ETC. So it's going to have a lot of value. Yes, it's going to interoperate with all layer 2 proof of stake shitcoins. And I think the winner shitcoin is going to be Ethereum 2. And then you're going to have a smaller one like maybe BNB or Polkadot or Cardano or Solana. But those are shitcoins, and they're going to connect to ETC in order to not be shitcoins, because they're going to anchor their state inside ETC, and they're going to use the monetary policy of ETC to anchor their currencies. If not, they're going to be worthless in the future, and controlled by the stakers, which are going to be the banks in the future. So the answer is no, I don't have any other token. I only focus on ETC. Ethereum Classic Trade Signals has a question. Are all the NFT platforms stored on the blockchain? Very good question. The structure, I actually spoke to Savage Profits. He's the one that built Classic Savages, and he gave me because he did the whole process, he gave me a little class of what are the components and how they work. The structure is that you need a website that for now has to be a centralized website. So if you get a domain for your NFT project, and you create a website, and in that website you're going to have the minting process. You're going to show the NFTs to the public so they can choose whichever they want to buy. And you're going to have the transfer process. And if you want, you can have the exchange mechanism also as an interface with the website. And then that website connects to your MetaMask or your Trust wallet or any other wallet that is supported by that NFT project. So the first thing is the website. That website is going to interact with ETC. Each time the users enter a transaction, the website is going to send the transaction to the Ethereum Classic blockchain, to the smart contract of that NFT project. The smart contract is an ERC 721, which is the specific NFT protocol. And in that smart contract, you're going to have the objects on ETC, the NFTs themselves, and it's the ledger that is going to book each NFT to your account, to the account of the owners. So that's the part in the middle. And the other part is that the objects themselves of collectibles are in another blockchain called IPFS. So whenever somebody mints an NFT, the transaction is sent to the contract, and the contract moves from the seller to the buyer, that NFT, and that NFT is associated to the metadata. For example, the ID of an NFT could be number 56, and that object number 56 for that NFT smart contract is in IPFS. And when you go and when you want to see it, basically it calls it from IPFS, and you can see the NFT in your MetaMask wallet or the browser or on the website of the system. So that's how it works. Go. Acme Condor's Realm talks about Algorand. If you want to promote shitcoins, go somewhere else, motherfucker. Algorand is a piece of shit proof of stake system. Don't come and lie here. IPFS is the distributed network where files are stored. All right, dudes. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.